Hi, welcome back to the fourth and last episode of Checkpoint's HTTPS inspection enhancements in the new R82 software release. Although this episode is the shortest, we're actually closing with another important enhancement that the new Checkpoint software release brings with it: bypass under load. Network traffic peaks may happen, and even the most careful sizing, redundancy, and safety margins may not be enough to contain them. With any other vendor, this would usually result in total connectivity loss, with the system dropping packets due to its inability to cope with the peak. But with bypass under load, we allow our network system to be smart and balance the overload by shutting down processes to overcome the peak and stabilize communication. It is important to stress here that this may have nothing to do with the operational integrity of HTTPS inspection, but the R82 software release allows a temporary suspension for specific and very accurate periods of HTTPS inspection services to help the network recover without connectivity loss. Let's see how we can turn on this option to ensure connectivity even at extreme network loads. To configure bypass under load, go back to HTTPS Inspection tab and click on the Edit button. Enable the bypass under load option and install the policy. Now let's create an action on the firewall, like trying to reach Google, so we can inspect the logs and see the status of that action. To get the full picture of what is happening after browsing, we have the Smart Console open on the firewall logs view, and on top of it, we have used a simple SSH console with htop command to see in real time the firewall CPU load. You can see that the SSH window is showing a high CPU usage due to a high volume of traffic, but still the firewall sustains the connection and overcomes the load, so we can still get the google.com page on our browser. To understand the actual reason, let's check the logs by accessing the Logs and Monitor tab on the left side of the Smart Dashboard. I will find the log associated with this action I just performed and get all the relevant details on the connection to Google I just made. If we look at the details displayed in the log of this connection, we can see that the traffic was allowed under the bypass under load option rather than the firewall's standard policies due to the heavy CPU load we saw previously. Now go back to the command window and type the following command: bypass_config stats HTTPSI. We can see the current status of the firewall. The bypass under load option is enabled, and that the firewall is currently dealing with a high level of traffic and has switched to bypass under load mode. So instead of business being disrupted due to an unforeseen circumstances, this additional new setting in the HTTPS inspection feature prevents loss of connectivity by suspending the HTTPS traffic inspection for the exact time required for the network to stabilize, be it a few seconds or more. And once that point is achieved, HTTPS traffic inspection will resume seamlessly and without requiring any intervention or extreme measures from security teams. This brings us to the end of this episode and the end of this TME Under the Hood series about HTTPS inspection. Be sure to stay tuned and look for the next series as we continue to explore new and important features and improvements. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.